Evening, Europe. Now, it's a Sunday evening, and I've been itching to play around with that little OS engine. Just got back from a very hectic day. Been out and about helping some family out, doing a lot of tree cutting. So, I've been bloody busy today, but I need to put all this away really. But I've been absolutely itching to have a look inside this. This is a fantastic little engine, and I've been itching to see, well, what is actually the problem with it. So, oh, don't mind this. This is a water pump for a caravan, and I got one that works fine, but I had a spare one. But some family got a folding trailer tent, folding caravan basically, and they didn't have a water pump, so I gave them my spare one. And then the mother-in-law bought a caravan, and this pump came with it, but it's the wrong one for theirs. They need a different type. So I said I'll have that one. So when I went and picked that caravan up for them, I got this off of them. So now I don't even know if this works. So it's on the bench because I'm going to bench test it, stick 12 volts to it and see if it actually pumps any water. But that's nothing to do with this video, so I'll just put that over there. I'll yeah. So let's take this apart, and we'll get the piston out, we'll get the sleeve out, and we'll see exactly, what's wrong with it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I've got sort of 10 minutes to spare. It's getting a little bit late now on the Sunday evening. Should be going to spend time with the missus and that really, but she doesn't like spending time with me. She says go away, so that's exactly what I've done, gone away to do this. So I've just gone and had a shower as well, so I'm all clean, but I'm going to get all dirty again now. Tell you what, down the forest where we've been doing it's the woods actually, down the woods where we've been cutting down the trees and that, probably see a few pictures of it and stuff. We made a bit of a clearing there to make a little car park and all of that kind of stuff. The bloody ants are everywhere. They mean business. They're about that big, them ants. They crawl around and eat your toenails if you're not careful. Anyway, what do we need? We need, probably should take that back plate off already, but I should be able, we'll have a look in, we'll have to get the head off. I did notice the other day that these head bolts are loose. That one's all the way up. I don't know if you can see that head bolt there. You probably can't see that at all, can you? No, you can't see that. Oh, you can, there it is. So that will indicate one of two things. No, and yes, I was right. No, was I right? No, I was wrong. I thought that one might be stripped, and that's why it's not gone all the way in, but it's not. So that thread's good. So obviously when Mr. Crazy Dad Nitro took off this head just to have a look inside it, he didn't do the bolts up properly, so that's alright. I mean, why would you? Having said that, that one's tight. That could be the reason it ain't got no compression, because there's no seal between the block or the cylinder liner and the head. That could be the reason, but usually when that is the reason, when you turn the engine over, you hear it going from here, and we're not getting that. So I do suspect that is not the case. So let's take this off and have a look. Quite a lot of you, by the way, have been saying OS parts ain't cheap. You can just buy a new engine for, the price of what it's going to cost to rebuild this. Well, in this situation, that's not the case, I mean, this is a lovely engine, and these always were lovely engines. These engines, they always were powerful engines. Oh, there's a shim. They always were powerful engines, and a lot of people preferred them to the counterparts. These ones have a lot of low-end torque, you know, these 30 VGs. They've got more low-end torque than, let's say, a K5.9 or something like that. It certainly seems lovely. So, you know, I like these engines. However, it's also more of a, you know, now I've actually got it. It's more the case of I need to get it running for Mr. Crazy Dad. Mr. Crazy Dad Nitro, you know. Might have to drill that one out. Quite a lot of you before have said as well, get the easy out kits, get an easy out. Yes, there's, I don't know if they call it, if that's what it's called over here. It might be. There's loads of, I've got one somewhere. It's not called that, it's something else. It's called something else, I can't remember what it's called. It comes in a little plastic case. And it has loads of different adapters and bits and bobs for different size screws and bolts. I don't know where it is, to be honest. There was one somewhere. Where it is, I have no idea. Let's get a drill bit and drill that out. That's money, you know what I mean? I've got drill bits, I've got drills already. I don't spend any more money, so it's easy just to drill bits out rather than going to buy another thing. So it all comes down to money, man. Back to the bench. I know some of you are going to comment on that. I know this isn't the first engine I've had to drill to bits to get apart. So we'll soon sort that out. Don't worry about things like that. I'll have to do a little bit of diggery pokery to get this apart. There he goes. Here comes Mr. Sleeve. There's Mr. Sleeve. It doesn't look particularly bad from the first sort of glimpses. Now we should be able to get Mr. Piston out. There he goes. Mr. Piston and rod. There's no playing that bearing. I can reuse that. And the bottom end bearing looks good. Well, the big end looks good as well. I know. The thing is, I know that I'm rebuilding this, right? And normally, when you rebuild an engine and you go as far as changing the piston, you would change bearings, right? But I haven't got, a disposable budget. And the aim of the game so I was just looking in there at the crank bearings. They look alright. You can see them in there, look. That's never going to focus properly on that, is it? The aim of the game here is to get this running. So, I should really replace all the bearings. I know what you should do, and I know what's good practice and what's not. But if I can get away with stuff, I will get away with it. So I think I can get away with not replacing that gudgeon pin and not replacing the bearings. I'm just going to have to replace the piston. There is said piston. It does look worn, to be fair. There is some scoring at the top there. Can you see that scoring there? But I wouldn't say it was necessarily bad. There's definitely pinch. It just won't go. I can force that as much as I want, and it won't go through there. I'm forcing it. It's not going through there. Oh, no, it's stuck in there. That's it. Come on, focus. Focus. Look. And that's, with that much from the top. So I don't know, you lot. I mean, I wouldn't say this was bad at all. I wouldn't say this was bad at all, but it's obviously something wrong. It could be that this seal is gone, but that shouldn't affect the compression really, because the compression happens at the top. It's really nice. I like looking, whenever I take any engine apart, whether it's a Nitro one, a petrol or a diesel, 2-stroke or 4-stroke, I just take a bit of time to look inside it, all the castings and everything, just to admire it, or in some cases think to myself, what on earth has gone on? But in this case, it's lovely. There doesn't seem to be any burrs. Some engines you get burrs and things around the exhaust port and that, where they've been sloppy and not filed them off or not machined things properly, but these are lovely. Seems like a really nice engine. It's just a shame that there's no compression. I do wonder if it just wasn't sealing around here, but I don't know. I could put it back together. I could clean everything. I could clean everything everywhere. And put it back together and see if I can get it to, you know, seal up and hold some compression. Or I could just get a new piston and a new liner. Or a sleeve, whatever you want to call it. So I could do both of those, really. Some of you might be looking at this sleeve here and saying, "That's had it. Why are you even contemplating it? It's had it. It's worn out." But I can't see any reason as to why it would be. There is a little bit of scoring. Let me get a torch. Let me just go and get a torch on it. And we'll have a look at it properly. I need a little torch, really. Right, focus please, Mr. Camera. Right. Trying to get you to see what I'm seeing. It's awkward when the screen, the little screen for this camera's at it, really. Right. It is, I'm not going to lie, it is quite worn actually. Looking at it under light, it's a lot worse than I thought it was. Sorry. But I still wouldn't say it was bad. I mean, I've put engines together from bits, if that makes any sense, you know. I've had engines, I've had one engine that doesn't run, and I've had an engine that was a bit dodgy. And I've literally changed liners and pistons, put them in the block and everything. And they've been just as, they've looked just like this one. But no, I do actually now there is some scoring in there. Yeah, quite a lot around that exhaust port, actually, to be honest. Yeah, in fact, there's more around the exhaust port than there is everywhere else. I wonder if it was ran without an air filter or without an effective air filter. Because think about it. If it's run without an effective air filter, the dirty air will be coming in with the dirt in it, going round in the block, coming up, and then that's going to be compressed and burned a bit, and then it's going to be going out the exhaust, and this is where it will be wearing it. It will be scoring it up on the exhaust side because it will be on its way out. It should cause damage all around, really, but interesting. Very interesting. Right. Well, I think, yeah, look, you can see there on the side there as well, look, a bit there. I think I've already shown you that, actually. The rest of it isn't awful. The worst of it on the piston is there. I mean, you know, you got to remember these engines are tiny compared to an actual full-sized car motorbike engine. So little things will affect them a lot more than larger things. No, that doesn't make any sense. Little things will affect them a lot more than they would a larger engine. A little bit of scoring like that on a larger engine wouldn't make a much difference. It wouldn't be good, but it would make a lot of difference. These only need a small thing. The tolerances are so tight, they only need a small score, small scratch to really affect it. Anyway, I thought some of you might be interested in looking at that, taking this apart to see what the damage is, what is the problem with it. Thought some of you might like that. I mean, we all knew anyway that it probably, well, most definitely is going to need a new piston and liner or sleeve. But I really wanted to make sure that just 100% make sure for my own, because they're not cheap. I've got some contacts, luckily, over the years. I've built up a small array of contacts who can get me several different parts, you know, at different prices. So I shouldn't have to hopefully pay the full price that you see advertised in shops. But it's still not going to be cheap. So I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something stupid before I go and buy a new piston and sleeve. But I also did just want to take it apart just to show you lot, really. Got a spare 10 minutes on a Sunday evening, although it's been a lot more than 10 minutes, probably been more like 20. But now this, I've had to drill that out. I did drill a bit too far. That's my own fault. I drilled a little bit too far. And I know you're going to be going, well, that's what happens. Go and buy yourself an easy out kit and you won't be doing that. I know, but just, I'm old school, alright? I just can't see the point in buying something else when I've already got the tools to do the job. And this is what used to happen. But, yeah. I'll fix that. I might better find a second-hand backplate. In which case I'll get a second-hand backplate and won't have that. But if not, I can fix that. That's no problem. It's not the threads anyway. It's just what holds it on. But it's got to be tight, otherwise it won't seal it properly. It is quite important. It is quite important that this is held down properly, because this is obviously a sealing face, and if this doesn't seal, it will cause a lean condition within the engine, because it will be sucking in air, or fuel and air will be leaking out, but also it could be sucking in air, causing a lean mixture. And it doesn't matter what you do with that carburetor, you could tune it as rich as you like, and it'll always be lean, because it'll be sucking in unmetered air through a seal, through this seal, if this isn't bolted down tight enough. So it is important, but don't worry, I'll sort that out. It's just one of those things. So there we go. Let's yeah, that's where we are. And I've got to find a new screw. The one-way bearing, that seems alright. These are £30, these bearings, these OS bearings. 30 quid. What's that all about? You know, 30 quid for a one-way bearing. Bloody hell, you can fit Savage ones on there for like a K5.9 or a 4.6. I believe they fit. And I think those are about £8 each. Probably a bit more now, but they're not 30 quid. I was just looking at a random shop that sells all the OS parts up in Leeds. And I was just looking, I just put in OS Max parts, and it come up with this 30 quid. I was like, what? Then it had all the other bits and bobs, the carburetor, the crank. You can buy a crank. Just a block. The block on its own is £112. That's just a block. Right? The crankshaft, yeah, just a crankshaft. I'm assuming it come with bearings, but I'm not really sure. That's £102. It's some serious money here when you're rebuilding it. Or you can just buy the whole engine as a complete engine for 200 quid. I think those were old stock though. There's no play on that whatsoever. It doesn't go in and out at all. Absolutely no play, which is good. They do a limited edition engine, which is this engine, but with a purple head. There's no price on it though. That's on the OS website. I looked at that. There's no price on that. You'd have to get that from a dealer. But I'm not going to be buying a new head. I've got to get that bolt out of there, that bit of screw. I'm not going to be buying, a new block. Well, sorry, not a new block. I'm not going to be buying a new engine though. That's just absolutely not going to happen. That's going to be a bit of a pain. I'm going to have to I might have to drill a little, punch a little cross in that to get a screwdriver on it perhaps. Anyway, I'll sort that out another day. Right, that's it for this evening. I'm going to go in and spend the rest of the Sunday evening with my family. And yeah, the next time you see this engine will probably be when we're putting it back together and starting it up for the first time and running it in, because obviously with a new piston and sleeve it's going to have to be run in again. And I don't know about you lot, but personally I love running in engines. Love it. I get great satisfaction from running in a new engine. And this will be a rebuilt engine which you've rebuilt yourself. It's even more satisfying than a new engine that you've bought already built. I'll see you lot on the next one. All the best. Thanks for watching. If you're a subscriber, even better. Thank you very much. You're very much appreciated. If you're a channel member, the appreciation I've got for you is out of this world. Thank you very much. Because it's you lot that are helping me do things like this. Getting this engine up and running for the crazy dad Nitro to see running after he sent it to me will be amazing, and I'm sure he will appreciate it as well. So all the best, have a lovely week, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheerio, you lot.